All right, hello. Today I'm going to focus on one exercise, the third one of chapter 4. So it's about the company and their costs, okay? So companies and their costs. In this question, I'm going to talk about Erwin. And Erwin has a company and he only knows the following things. He only knows how many units he produces. He knows his fixed costs, the total amount of his fixed costs, and he knows his total variable costs as well. And the question here is make sure you fill in the gaps and draw the graphs. Okay. Now, in our Excel file, we have these things already set up. So the only thing we know right now are these three columns right here. And based upon those three, we are able to find all these missing values over here, just like that. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to use your Excel in an optimal way. So you don't need a calculator or something like that. Excel can handle anything over here. Yeah. Once again, this is not really Excel. It's Calc. You know I hate that name, but I prefer saying Excel. All right. So Erwin, he wants us to fill in the gaps over here. So let's just start. Okay. Um, Over here, the thing is that he knows his total amount of fixed costs. He knows his variable costs as well. And now we need to find the total costs. Of course, if we do this thing here, this column here plus the values over here, we will find this one. This is very easy. But in Excel, you just type your equals sign, then you take the first value over here, you do plus, second value, you enter, and the software will calculate the rest for you. So you don't have to do anything except for this little formula over here. Now, the wonderful thing over here is once you've done this, you can just click on this cell and you can drag all the way down here, and the software will compute everything for you. So just like that, I found all of these total costs by just dragging my cell all the way to the bottom over here. That's it. So that's easy and very, very convenient. Okay. So that's done already. Now, if we go to the next table over here, we have the average fixed costs. Here is the average variable costs, and there we have the average total costs. Now, of course, in order to compute our averages over here, we always have to um, use these numbers once again and divide them by our production level. All right. But there's like one tricky thing over here. If you do the thing I just mentioned, for instance here, average fixed costs, I have to divide it with my production. But my production is 0. And we all know we can't divide by 0. It's illegal. Okay, so don't do that. The thing here is we can't find anything over here. So just write like this line over here, my slash. It depicts that there's nothing happening over here. Okay, so for the next thing, we can compute it by taking my fixed cost over here, dividing it by my production level, which is 1. So this will give me this number over here, 200. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the next line over here, 200 divided by 1. And I'm going to do it one last time for my final number over here. And I will get these values over here. Now, I've done this every time with my formula over here. If I do it like that, I once again can do Excel, do the rest. So if I select all my cells I just filled in over here, and I can drag them all together, all the way down, I will get my solutions. Just like that. Now, it's pretty possible that you will receive some really big numbers over here because Excel might round up to like 4 numbers after your comma, but there's a solution to that. If you just select your numbers and you press this icon over here, you see, it will make things much more attractive, or clear. Let's say clear. So use this to clean things up. It's still very, very well, it's still a good answer, just round it up to 2 numbers after the comma. And that's it. Your second table is done, just like that. It's very easy, okay? Um, then only one table remains before we can actually draw our graph, and that's the marginal cost one. And as you can see, my production table is empty over here. I cannot just write 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 11. I can't do that because when looking at the marginal costs or marginal production in general, we're always looking from one production level to the other. It's somewhere in between. I always tell you to write the answer between the lines, right? So for instance, let's go back to the word table. If you've written something down on this line over here, 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 you will write down your marginal costs between the lines. I always tell you that because it's like about going from one level to another. It's different, all right? So now, um, let's go back to the Excel. I just told you that you have to do something between the lines, right? So between 0 and 1, the value over there will be 0.5, all right? And then the next one between 1 and 2 will be 1.5. And you will always add one more number, so I can just be like this, and I'm done with it, just like that. And by doing it this way, I have every number between these levels of production. That's what I need to write my marginal cost over here. Okay. Now to calculate it, I need to think once more. So the thing is, it's about something between my levels of production, right? So very important over here is that I do something with this. My level 1 over here, if I produce 1 unit of my product, I have to, wait, that's wrong. I have to subtract previous production over there, and I will have to divide by my change in production. But since we're always producing one more unit, we can just say we are dividing by 1. It's not really important over here. And if I drag this along the lines all the way down, I will get this thing over here. And that's it. So by doing this, I've got everything I need to make my graphs, right? Now, making the graphs is not that hard because in the first video of this series, I've explained you how to do it, but I'll just run over it again. Once again, XY scatter plot, points and lines, we go to smooth. Okay, that's one way to do it. And then you pick your series over here. But in this case, there is a very fast way to do it. If I just pick everything over here, my Excel will regard the production as my x-axis, and the tree over here will be automatically seen as 3 different curves and will be depicted on the y-axis, which is very convenient for me. I just have to select these numbers, insert, chart, x and y, smooth over here. See, that's it already. If I go to series, I can do some stuff, but I don't need to over here. Um, Instead, I'm going to choose some names for my elements. That's maybe important. Like column B, I don't like column B as a name, right? I'll write something. I can actually pick this thing over here. Um, Column C, different name, is more suitable. And then column D is actually my total costs over here. And then I got everything I need. I can clean things up, give this thing a title, like Irvin, Irvin's, Irvin Graph 1 or something like that. Um, Subtitle, no thank you. The x-axis, I can name it labor. That's important. No, it was production, right? It's production. Excuse me. So production. The y-axis depicts the TFC, the TVC, and the TC. All my costs over there. I'll do this and I'll do that. I'll do finish, and I have my graph. Okay, that's it. So Irvin graph 1, it's the first one because, as you can see, I still have to put my average costs on a graph as well. Now, the first question over here, complete the table. We've done that. So just get a hang of using the formulas in Excel. It's very important to make things very, very easy for you. Now, draw the curves over here. We just did that. I only have to do these ones right now. And the marginal costs also have to be present in my last graph. So let's see. Excuse me. Now I'm going to select my things over here. So like that. Insert once again. I'm not sure how Excel will read these signs over here. So that's very exciting. Let's see what happens. So insert chart XY up, up, up. Um, that looks good, right? Yeah, looks good. Data range. So here the column names. Column G, that's this one. Column H, that's this one. Column I, that's the ATC. And then everything has a name or not. Oops. Wait, something went wrong, right? Yeah, something went wrong. I should have picked this one over here, and over here I should see. Kids, this is what happens when you want to be a fast boy. So don't do that. Okay, so take your time and do it the right way, and then you get these names for your graphs right here. So my chart elements over here, my title, Irvin graph 2, of course. You could give it another name, but I'll roll with this. X-axis, very important, production. And the Y-axis, AFC, AVC, and ATC. My axis and my legend at the bottom gives me that. Okay, now I'm not done yet, but let me just check out these graphs right here. Here are my normal costs. Here are the average ones, right? The thing is, the question also asked me to include this thing in this graph over here. So I like to do it separately, but you can also do it with the rest of them, but I think this is easier. So for now, I need to incorporate these numbers in this graph. So if I go to the properties of this graph right here, if I double click it, I will get this secret panel. If I press my data ranges, I can actually add another graph. Okay, so if I press add, I get these few options over here. The name, of course, will be my MC. My X values can be found over here, production, and my Y values are my marginal costs. And now I press OK, and the green line that has appeared is my marginal cost line. Now, the point of this video was to show you how to use Excel or Calc to make these or fill these tables at a efficient manner, like very efficiently, right? It's very important that you can actually save time by doing it this way. And to make the graphs once again. Now, what these graphs mean, well, it's not for this video. It's not meant for this video. It's purely how to make the graph and find these values over here. If you want conclusions or you want to know what these graphs mean, you have to send me a mail or at least check your papers, right? Because it should be somewhere in there. I have explained this in the lesson, obviously. So, um, use this video so you can actually get better at making these things over here. All right, we'll see you in class. If I can actually find how to close this video. Yeah, okay. Bye.